Hi, welcome to the class. Now moving ahead, up till now we have done about Heisen's principle. We have also understood how to prove laws of reflection and refraction on the basis of Heisen's principle. Next we'll understand experiment by name Young's double slit experiment, YDSE we call it in short, which is a great example to understand the interference of light, and that too using the wave optics. So interference is a phenomena which can be explained on the basis of wave nature of light. So this is the whole setup. The diagram for the whole setup is already done. So first of all, let me come to something known as what we actually need in order to prove in order to do this Young's double slit experiment is something known as coherent sources, right? So what do we need? We need coherent sources. Now what are coherent sources? So coherent sources are the sources of light which should have the same frequency. They should have same frequency. Now two different light bulbs cannot be coherent sources. Why they cannot be coherent sources? Because if you go to the atomic level and you try to explain how light is produced, you will understand that light is produced only when an electron from the lower level gets energy, excites to a higher energy level. When that electron comes back, it releases the energy, and it releases the energy in the form of photon, that is in the form of light, right? So what happens is, if you take two separate different bulbs, so there will be trillion of electrons in this bulb and trillion of electrons in this bulb. Is it possible for these two to sync and at the same time all the electrons going to a level and then coming back? Only then the frequency emitted by these two would be the same. And the possibility of that, the probability of that is very least. And therefore these two bulbs cannot be coherent sources of light, right? So what do we need? We need, as we are saying, double slit experiment. Slit means the gaps, the holes. These are the two slits. S1 and S2 are the two slits, two small gaps created. So why double slit? In order to create the coherent sources from a single source. So this is a single source. Light is coming from here, this single source, then getting divided into two different slits, S1 and S2, in order to create this coherent sources. Because this is an essential requirement for the Young's double slit experiment, or for the interference to take place, that it should have the coherent sources that is the same frequency, right? Now we have created S1 and S2. The distance between these two is d. Small d is the distance between S1 and S2, that is two slits. Now the light ray from these two slits having the same frequency, coherent sources S1 and S2, interfere along this space, and then when interfering along the space, then forms a pattern on the screen. This is the screen. So it forms a pattern on the screen, and what kind of pattern do we see? We see a band, an alternative band of dark bands and bright bands. So alternatively we see bright band, dark band, bright band, dark band, right? And the distance of the screen from the slit, these two slits, is capital D. So capital D is the distance of the screen from the slit, and S1 and S2 is the distance between the two slits, right? So this is how it works. Now as you could see, the wave from S1 and the wave from S2 reaches point C, and when they reaches, distance travelled by the wave from S1 to reach C and distance travelled by the wave S2 to reach C is the same, right? So when the distance is same, there will be no path difference, because they have travelled equal path. So how could be there be like path difference? So since there is no path difference, this point C will be a bright point. This point C will be a bright point. How can I say that? Because I know that for constructive interference, we have the path difference. Constructive means bright point. Path difference to be n lambda. Now what is lambda? Lambda is the wavelength of this light. What is the value of n? N is 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. Now if you put n is equals to 0, path difference is 0. If path difference is 0, what kind of interference will take place? Constructive interference. And if constructive interference takes place, the point C would be a bright point, right? So that is how this point C is a bright point, because there is no path difference between the waves coming from S1 and S2 and reaching there, right? Now, and also I shall write destructive interference, condition for destructive interference is what we call path difference is equals to n plus half lambda, where again n is equals to 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on, right? Now the wave from S1 reaches P, wave from S2 reaches P, and as you could see there is a path difference. How do I calculate that path difference? I calculated that path difference by drawing a normal. This is the normal which I drew. So now you could see the distance travel by the wave from S1 to P and distance traveled by the wave from N to P is same. These two distances S1 to P and N to P is same. So how much is the path difference? This is the path difference. What is the path difference? S to N. So basically if I write S to P minus S1P, S to P minus S1P will be equal to S to N. And what is S to N? S to N is the path difference, right? So now my job is to find out this path difference. How much is this path difference? Now to calculate this path difference, I will be taking first triangle S1 and S2. So can you see S1 and S2? So if you take this triangle, you take sine theta. So angle is this will be perpendicular, and this will be base, and then this will be hypotenuse. So it will be perpendicular, that is S to N, upon hypotenuse, and hypotenuse is S1, S2. So distance between S1 and S2 is already, we know that it is D, so it would be S to N upon D, and this would be the first equation, right? Now you take triangle POC, and when you take triangle POC, take tan theta. It will be perpendicular upon base. Again, this is theta, perpendicular, that is PC, upon base, that is OC. PC is what? Point distance of point P from the center. And what is the distance we have taken? XN. So N is the nth fringe. We call them fringe, bands or fringe, right? So nth fringe, distance of the nth fringe from C. So it could be first fringe, second fringe, third fringe, any number of given fringe. So it would be PC XN upon D. So this is second. Now I am using an approximation, and the approximation which I am using is if theta is small. If theta is small, then what would happen? Then sine theta would be nearly equal to tan theta. And if that is the case, then what will happen? S to N upon D is equals to Xn upon D. So what is the path difference which I got? It is Xn D by D. So this is the path difference I have calculated. Now what am I supposed to do? Now in order to know whether this point is a bright point or a dark point, I know the path difference for the constructive interference, that is for the bright point, is n lambda, and for destructive interference, that is for the dark point, is n plus half lambda, right? Now what I am going to do, I shall remove that part, right? This I will remove. And if I compare this path difference, I say that if S to N is equals to n lambda, means this path difference is equals to n lambda, then this point P would be a bright point. So that is Xn D upon D is equals to n lambda. So Xn, if this is a bright point, then the distance of the bright point from it could be any bright point, first, second, third, fourth. Obviously this is the first bright point, then it can be second, third, fourth, and any number. N lambda D by D. So this is the distance of nth bright fringe from the center fringe, right? And again if I put, if S to N is equals to lambda, then in that case xn d upon d is equals to n plus half into lambda. So it would be xn is equals to n plus half lambda d upon d. So this will be for the dark fringe or dark band. Distance of nth bright fringe from the center would be given by this, and dark will be given by this, right? As we know that these are the alternative bright and dark fringes, right? Again, I will have to remove that part. So take a look and then I shall remove it because I will be using these conditions, right? So if you know the value of n will be 0, 1, 2, 3 in both the cases. So if I put it 0, so this whole will be 0. It means I am talking about this bright fringe. So x0 is equals to 0. In place of n I have put 0. So it will come 0. If I put x1, first bright fringe, so it will be lambda d by d. Now you all know that if this is a bright fringe, next would be dark, next would be dark. If I want to know Q, and similarly for next it would be bright and it would be bright. If I want to know how much is the width of this dark fringe, dark means on either side of the bright there is dark. If I want to know what is the width of these dark fringes, what I have to do? If I want to know what is the width of, let us say this dark, what is the width of this dark fringe? So I have to calculate the gap between these two, right? And you know the gap between these two is this distance of the nth bright fringe from the center point. So this is the center point. Let us say this is x is equals to 0 and this is x is equals to 1, means x1 is equals to, right? So this is there. So how much distance this dark is extended? That is between these two bright. So basically if I calculate something known as fringe width represented by beta, whose width we are calculating right now? For dark we are calculating. So if I calculate this beta for the dark, so it will be beta is equals to x1 minus x0. This beta will be given by x1 how much? Lambda d by d minus 0. So beta is equals to lambda d upon d. This is the fringe width for the dark. Beta is equals to lambda d by d, where lambda is the wavelength. If wavelength will change, beta will change. If distance of the screen, capital D, from the slit changes, beta will change. If the distance between the slits, small t, changes, beta will change, right? Similarly, you can calculate it for dark also. And let me tell you that it would come same. So that would be your task to calculate. How do we calculate? I'll give you a hint. If I put 0 here, so it will be x0, it will be lambda d by 2d. And if I put 1 over here, it will be 3 lambda d upon 2d. Now you subtract x1 minus x0, that will give you the fringe width for bright, because these are the dark bands and in between them would be the bright. So that will give you the fringe width, and this will come the same, that is beta is equals to lambda d by d. Right? Now, after this, if I plot a graph, I shall remove this now. And if I plot a graph, first let me tell you a relation between path difference and phase difference. So, phase difference phase d difference is equals to 2 pi by lambda into path difference, right? So this is the formula for phase difference. Now what does phase tells you? Phase basically tells you the direction, right? So we are plotting a graph of intensity versus phase. So you know that the path difference for the first to bright is 0, that is point C. So I put it 0, so phase difference is 0, right? So I am on this axis, I am plotting this 0. So first is this. Now for this first bright means first bright is this obviously. N is equals to 0. N lambda is the condition. Don't forget that this is the path difference for bright. So if I put 1, it will come lambda. N equal to 1 lambda. Lambda goes off 2 pi. Then this will be 2 pi. So between 0 and pi, between 0 and 2 pi would be pi. Then again if I put 3 here, 3 lambda, 2 lambda, then it would be 4 pi. So between 2 pi and 4 pi would be 3 pi. And similar would be here pi, 3 pi and 4 pi. Now you know that 0 is a bright point. So obviously intensity here would be high. This is the intensity. This would be the dark point, that is why down 2 pi again high, 3 pi intensity 0, 4 pi again high, and same way it would be here. Like this. Got it? And here it will be 3 by pi, 2 pi, then 3 pi. Yes, 3 pi will be there. So this would come at this point, 3 pi. So this is, so what happens in this case, actually this should be the same. What happens in this case, that the intensity of all the bright remains same in case of interference. In case of interference, the intensity of all the bright fringes remains same. Okay. So that was about the graph. All these formulas you should know. This, especially these two formulas, are very important. And this you should know. I told you coherent sources. What is the condition for interference now? That first we should be